Alright, so the resize has been done and the display values have changed for my images. Now you can see that each one of my images is around 24 megabytes, which is considerably different than half a giga that it was before. And let's have a look at the previous image and the new image to see the differences. So this is the big previous image. You can barely see the CFOS in here, and this is the same brain, the same tissue, but practically resized and with changed brightness. So once we've done this and we have this folder, we can move to the next step, practically part of the same step. So we're on step 13, we've done that already, and we jump to that. And as you can see, we have two options. There is much technical information in here, but practically it all boils down to running two different scripts for two different measurements that you want to obtain. So if you want to obtain the mean gray value, and you want to do that, you will have to go for option 1. And later on, you will have to obtain the area of the segmented part of this part particularly. And the best way to do that is not with option 1, but with option 2. You can read the details if you're interested in, and you can ask me further questions. These are all maneuvers to find what we want to find, but there might also be a better way, but that's how I do it at least. So I will start with option 1, and for option 1, I have to use the dynamine macro. Here are the instructions. So we go to process, batch, macro, and now I will look for the dynamine. First of all, right, I change the input, and for the input we will have to have our resized images, and from now on we're only working with them. We're not using the large images anymore. Now the output is a bit more tricky. Let's verify that my folders are empty. You will have two outputs practically, but you cannot put two outputs here. So in this part of the output, you will select an empty folder where the images with the white background will be saved. Remember what this script does, apart from giving you measurements, is also turning your images to white background instead of black. So for the output in this field, I will select this empty image, white background images, output 1. And now I'm opening the dynamine script, dynamine macro, which is this one. You will see it written as dynamine and not all dynamine. This is just because I was running something before. So here it is. And if you read the instructions, you'll see that you will have to change this part, okay, with your path. I want to select the mean gray 1 folder as the folder where the measurements of the mean gray value of the segmented region will be. So what you can do in this case is that I'm just clicking on the field and the whole path appears, while in my case I just have to change that part, nothing else. And now it should run. In case you want to put your whole path there, be aware of the slashes and their positioning, because these ones look to the left or start from the left, whatever, and these are vice versa. These are reversed. So keep that in mind. It has to be like that, at least for Windows. I cannot guarantee for Mac. You will have to experiment a bit if you're using Mac. And in case you get any title warnings, any title errors, that is errors related to the name of the image, then you might actually have to process a bit to change the name of your image, but we will probably come across that in the future. So without further ado, let's run process and see if it works. And it actually does. You should see something like that on your screen if you're using the same Fiji version. And because it's going rather fast, I think I will just leave it complete first without pausing the video, and then we'll have a look at our results. I think it is probably done. So let's just make sure. Yeah, all my results are here. But let's start from the white background images. That was the output that we set in the field. So remember again what we had for the resized images, right? This is the input that we set, and the output that we're getting is actually this. So now, as you can see, we've changed the background. And why is this important? Well, one of the reasons is that we're doing it in order to obtain the measurements that we want for the mean gray value, because it kind of helps us create a mask and isolate the region that we want. There are other reasons too, but let's not delve into that. So now all our images are like that, and in the other folder you can see that Excel files will have been created. So I'm opening one of them, and what you're interested in here is practically this part. This area is an estimation, but in some cases it's not the right estimation. That's why we will also run script 2. But what we are going to use is this mean, and what this mean is, this mean value is practically, if we go back, what we did here is that we isolated that part and we measured the mean gray value of the whole region. And why is it useful? It's useful because it can give us an estimation of the noise or the background, let's say, reference point in a sense, right, of that region. Having said that, I will stop the video and then we will also run option 2.